Reserve seats right now? Is this like reserve seating?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, the wind's coming that way. That's going to really help. Stand up. Luke, stand up. Stand up. I have one. You don't have any? Let's do it. Stand up. Look at the whole thing.
Welcome in, folks. Week 2 of the Ohio High School football playoffs here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. CVC TV, your matchup tonight. The Central Catholic Crusaders from Canton head all the way to the Hornets' Nest. Take on the Kirtland Hornets here again in beautiful Kirtland, Ohio, inside Wilson Stadium. Kyle Cornell alongside AA Anthony Alford on the call for this evening. In a matchup of a team that now has a little bit of experience facing the CVC versus one of the CVC's finest. AA going to be a great matchup tonight.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, first off, last week, getting the W, Central Catholic, getting it over Cardinal last week, the 8-9 matchup. And I'll tell you, just being down there on the field, those kids, they are ready and locked in. And what surprised me, just being down there, the linemen for Central Catholic, pretty huge. As far as athleticism, as far as speed, they're all locked in. They're ready to go.
We talked about the last time we were sitting in this booth, AA, when we called the Kirtland Hornets game against the Perry Pirates. Well, Kirtland wasn't too thrilled we were here. Perry decided to end a 58-game home win streak during the regular season that dated back to 2016. They won that game 24-6. Since then, Kirtland has allowed just 6 points. As you mentioned in our pregame video, of course, on social media, AA, this is a different Kirtland team from what we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we mentioned back in week 3 that game was going to define their season. And again, like we mentioned, overall, the defense has only given up 26 points in their 8-game win streak. In the first string, just a Hail Mary pass in week 8 against Harvey. Other than that, no points given up by this defense since the Perry game.
I mean, stingy to say the least is the category to talk and discuss that. The Crusaders make the long trip from Canton, Ohio, of course, where we're going to play the final games of this Ohio high school football season. But the Crusaders get a little bit of experience, a little taste of the Chagrin Valley Conference last week. They took on Cardinal at home. It was an 8-9 matchup, and it was a fun one, too. It was a close game, 19-12 in that fourth quarter before Central Catholic was able to pull away. Different beast, though, when it comes to Kirtland tonight.
Absolutely, and they're ready for the challenge, and they have prepared themselves with a schedule that has allowed them to be ready for a matchup like Kirtland. Facing teams like Massillon Jackson, Massillon Perry, Norway facing them, Minter Lake Catholic, having them on the schedule. So they get hyped up for these type of matchups, and they're going to be ready. I mean, our broadcast position, we're on the visitor side, so you're going to hear their fans, during the broadcast tonight. And this is going to be something. This will definitely be some kind of game here tonight.
Yes, short conversation with Coach Linsmith of the Central Catholic Crusaders before the game. AA kind of just said, yeah, we're ready for it. We know what to expect. And it's kind of hard not to know who the Kirtland Hornets are here in Northeast Ohio with their history and what they've been able to do not only during the regular season but obviously in postseason play. This very familiar territory for honestly both of these teams.
Absolutely, and Central Catholic not too long ago was a regular visitor in the state championship. They was facing Coldwater, in the state finals, beforehand. So, both of these teams, and you talk about like some of the teams that's the class of this region, Division 6 Region 21. This is a spotlight headline game in this region. And we're locked in. It's 6:59 on the nose. Here we go.
Going to be a fantastic game, of course. The visiting Central Catholic Crusaders dressed in their all lights. The home Kirtland Hornets wearing an alternate, a gray jersey tonight. Normally they wear their blues, but they're wearing the grays. A couple of number changes we'll fill you in throughout the game on as well. As the kickoff is underway, it's a low line drive, and we are underway here from Kirtland. Going to be fielded. Getting at about the 35-yard line and taken to about the 45 by the Hornets. And that's where Kirtland will begin their first offensive possession.
And they're going to begin, Kyle, with a offense where you're going to see, multiple options on the ground. Defense has to be very disciplined. That's something you watch on film. But Kirtland, you talk about like what they've been able to produce on the ground. Will Beers, number 18, he's one of the lead guys. Coming in here over 1,000 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. He averages over 10 yards per carry.
And right now it looks like it's going to be, I believe, Jake Laverty who's going to be in under center to start. So as Coach Laverty's son has been in the system for a while, it's going to be a handoff up the middle and gain of about 7 or 8 yards for Kirtland. And that was Beers who actually got the carry, so Beers is going to line up as a running back.
Yeah, Beers, one of the leading tailbacks there, and was And again, they're going to go right back to the line. Laverty, the sophomore quarterback,
Yep.
with experience in this offense.
Definitely another handoff up the middle, and it's going to be a solid push through and again. That should be well enough for a first down. Good job by Kirtland early.
And again, kind of what we witnessed when we were here last time. You're going to see 18. You're going to see 11, in that backfield. I fear you're going to see them both back there operating 1-2 punch.
So 1st and 10, pitch out. Back inside and outside and in. There's number 11, Rocco Alfieri. We've seen his name and called his name a few times on CVC TV. He gets a solid gain of about 4.
And something we talked about last week when we were out in Geneva, defensively, you could take the right angles. You still got to make the play. You still got to finish off defensively and make it. The tough adjustment is going to be that opening drive for Central Catholic. Can they make the correct angles, make the right keys, and make the play immediately?
So Beers in the backfield now. He's going to get a pitch to the right. Beers cutting inside, back towards the middle of the field. He breaks through. He's got room to run. Beers cuts to the outside. One man to beat and gets tripped up inside the 5. Big run for Will Beers. Solid gain of about 35 yards. Almost got in for 6.
Yeah, it was very, very, very close. And great blocking, on the outside. Here's the replay. Watch the kick-out block there. That was 29 there, able to get the kick-out block, run in. And that set up the huge run and a 1st and go.
Here we go, 1st and goal, you're right. Ball fell to the floor, and it's actually going to be, Central Catholic saying they have it. And for the official word, and that's going to stay Kirtland football. Bit of a scare from the Hornets.
And obviously, you can hear the emotion from the fans, how locked in,
It's
this
playoff football,
is.
double A,
It
yeah.
is. And the ball bouncing every way. You're looking for those opportunities here, but Kirtland able to get it back and looking for the opportunity to punch this thing into the end zone.
Yeah, loss of a couple of yards there, so it's still 2nd and goal. Bit of a scare, but the Hornets managed to hold on to the ball. Already under center. He's going to pitch. Alfieri trying to cut inside. The push. Is it enough? And it looks like he's going to be short. Alfieri got about 3. He needed about 5. So here we go, 3rd down.
Try to get that drive there. Try to turn his legs, but good job on the defensive line holding their guard there.
Back up to the line quickly. Laverty going to roll it in himself, I believe. And that's going to be in for 6. Touchdown. For number 1, Jake Laverty, the sophomore quarterback. He gets into the end zone and our first score of the game. Kirtland up 6-0 over Canton Central Catholic.
And it almost, after all those series, a combination of run plays, the QB sneak seems simple, but again, you got to account for everything defensively. Great play call, getting into the end zone.
All right, so we'll line up the extra point. Again, for the Hornets. And it is up, and it is good. So there we go. Score goes to 7-0. Kirtland on top of the Crusaders here on CVC TV. A hot start, double A. The rushing attack in full force. Will Beers flexing his muscles, and Jake Laverty able to pound it in for 6.
Absolutely, and the operation up front with the offensive line, and what was impressive that opening drive too was the work of the offensive line, even in the perimeter. Getting the key kick-out block to set up, to get the long run. All of that in operation. And the yards after contact, that's what's something that Central Catholic, they're going to have to make that adjustment. The yards after contact, they have to limit those yardage.
So we're going to see this Crusader offense try and respond in what has been, honestly, one of the toughest defenses in Northeast Ohio over the past 7-8 weeks this season. They've been dominant.
Been a 1-2 punch here in the CVC. Kirtland, Division 6, Perry in Division 5.
We can't forget our friends over in Geneva, too. They've been able to put up a pretty good season as well, and coming off a solid win last week, 2 AA. Mentioned there's other games going on. You talked about Perry as well. Of course, Cuyahoga Heights in action tonight, too, against United.
And the winner of this matchup here will face the winner of the Cuyahoga Heights matchup next Friday night.
Which will be exciting. They're, of course, facing United over from Hanoverton. They're going to battle out in Cuyahoga Heights. On the other side, of course, Chardon in Geneva as the kickoff is back and taken by the Crusaders at the 5 and brought down just past the 30-yard line or so. That's where the Crusaders on offense will take back over. Other matchup too, Perry, of course, facing Sandy Valley, our team from the Stark County area. The Cardinals making a trip up to Perry. So we'll have updates, of course, throughout the evening on those games as well. But chance now for Brennan Betts in this offense for the Crusaders to try and respond. Kirtland marched down the field and scored early. Let's see if the Crusaders can match that as well.
Man, we'll talk about his story a little bit here at Betts. He had to face a little adversity last week, back in again this week. We'll talk about that momentarily.
And Betts in that shotgun. 1st and 10 from his own 31. Going to be handoff left side, spun down, very little gain on the play. That was, again, Grady Noggle, number 24. He is the lead back for this Crusader offense.
Yeah, Betts coming to their quarterback, Central Catholic, coming into this game. Over 1,100 yards passing. But last week against Cardinal, had an injury near the end of the first half. Was not able to return in that game, but the team was able to pull it out the win. And Coach was mentioned, they had a great week of practice. He has had a great week of practice, and he's back in the lineup today.
Obviously great to see. His Betts going to look, going to throw out to his right. That one's going to be caught. Cutting back inside and getting a short gain on the far side of the field was the intended receiver. And that was James Kane, number 85, who got a gain of maybe 2 more, so it's going to be 3rd and medium.
And what's going to be interesting here, you look at this lineup. Look at the lineup here for both of these teams. You know, not a ton of two-way players, so you're going to see some fresh bodies on the field all game long, but a critical 3rd down coming up here.
Betts has some magic. He's going to look to throw. Fakes to the right. Now looking, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a receiver. It's out of the reach of his intended target. That is incomplete. He's looking for 22, Daniel Boren, the senior down the right sideline. He couldn't come up with the play, so it's going to force 4th down.
Yeah, and that was pretty good coverage there, but yeah, you just, you always wonder with those pump fakes, like how's the ball going to feel with the cool air tonight? So just not able to get that, and Kirtland defensively getting the break, able to hold, and if you're facing Kirtland, you got to take advantage of those opportunities.
As Jack Lessick is back to return the punt for the Hornets, it's going to stop dead at the 40 and trickle down inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. That's where Kirtland will take over. And ball down by Grady Noggle, of course, doing some special teams work too, and Kirtland gets their 2nd shot at the Crusaders. On the offensive side of the ball, again, dominant double A, so the big run from Will Beers on that first drive, he kind of really set the tone. That's what Kirtland does, right? They run the ball down your throat, try to take time off the clock, and then you can still throw that ball here and there as well.
Absolutely, and the way they have been dominant, every November, they have been dominant by dictating the pace of the game. And this is what they do. They run the ball, like you said, down your throat, and before you know it, it's like, how do you figure out how to stop that? So, critical drive here, 2nd drive of the game for Kirtland.
And Laverty under center, going to pitch out. Here comes Beers, cutting inside. Will Beers got room to run, breaks through a tackle, cuts back left. He's got a block. Beers breaks through to the 30, to the 20, cutting back inside, back out, makes him fall. Down to the 5, and just short of a touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Man, I'll tell you, again, the blocking is just outstanding. It's just driving the defenders right down the field.
Watch this move, double A here. Cutting back on 21, back inside.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
what
my
a
goodness.
move.
Not fair for Andrew Neal. He just could not set his feet on the tackle. Will Beers shifty, and now it's 1st and goal.
And I believe it might be a defensive penalty as well there.
Wow. So the ball moving down to the 2-yard line.
And these are the little things here you talk about here in the playoffs. Like, it's just, these are the little things.
Yeah.
They'll make you frustrated. This is how they play. They will make you frustrated. They'll make you play out of character.
Well, Will Beers already has 100 yards rushing.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, is Laverty's going to head up under center, send Beers in motion, It's going to be hand. I believe Alfieri gets the ball up the middle, and he is going to score. Rocco Alfieri into the end zone for 6, and blink of an eye, the Hornets now up 2 scores, 13-0 over the Crusaders.
Man, that was very emotional. I mean, just crazy just to see. But again, the last 2 drives, the blocking up front, they are dominating up front. And that has to be addressed if you're Central Catholic.
And Beers is able to just knock up a couple big runs there and just make some big plays.
And the blocking's there too, Kyle, at the second level as well.
And Barisick's extra point is up, and that is good. So yeah, Double A now 14-0. Kirtland able to jump on the Crusaders early here at home in this second week of high school football playoff action here in the state of Ohio, and Kirtland doing exactly what you think they're going to do, just try and pound that ball. Beers able to find a couple holes and make some big plays.
And it's an emotional game, a mental game, just as much as a physical game, because Central Catholic has had success. They have looks offensively, but again, the pump fake that could have been 6 if they was able to connect down the sidelines, that did not happen. Go back on the defensive side, get the big blocking, and in a blink of an eye, Kirtland's up 14-0.
Well, speaking of that scoreboard being 14-0, tonight's scoreboard sponsor, of course, is Independence Business Supply. They're an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities here in Cleveland, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with a single source for office products, facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. You can visit orderibs.com to learn more about their products and amazing customer service. And now the offense for the Crusaders need to service this defensive break and try to make a drive here as they find themselves down 2 scores to a tough Kirtland team on the road. It's been a lot to handle as the ball is kicked off and we're back underway. And taken by the Crusaders and just nowhere to go. And just got stuffed right on the inside. That was number 11, Luke Piper, who just had no running lane whatsoever. Kirtland, great job on the return team to stop that short, and it's going to be first down and 10 way back in Crusader territory.
And an intentional directional kick too, so that disrupts your kick return lanes. You have to adjust on the fly, and the only thing you could do was try to curve and try to find open field, and it just could not happen.
We'll see if Betts in this offense can respond to the stingy Kirtland defense. Just 3 offensive plays. Going to be an end around. And cutting back through, spitting down, and big hit at the end there by Kirtland. And again, just not a lot really there. Only a gain of about 3 or 4 yards there. Just Kirtland's defense showing speed, too, on the outside.
Well, and again, I was able to get around the corner, but like you said, Kyle, it took a lot of speed on the perimeter. It's going to take a huge effort from Central Catholic's offensive line to make an effort on the perimeter.
Second down and about 6 on their own 25-yard line. Betts going to hand up the middle on a bit of a draw delay, and there's just nothing again there for Noggle. He goes maybe a yard, if that, further. It's going to set up a third down and medium.
And this offense, and it's tough too, because again, you wonder the health of Betts coming off of the injury last week. To me, so far, it looks fine. To me, so
it's that one deep shot. He's 1 for 2 so far. Only a 2-yard gain, but it was a screen pass to kind of get him moving and grooving and get a completion. Had a receiver downfield, a little bit out of his reach.
But this defensive formation will force you to make decisions very quickly, way more quickly than you want to.
Yep, so Betts in that shotgun again, going to look to pass. Dropping back, looking. He's under pressure. It's a back, and that ball is knocked out. They're going to say it's a live ball, and it's recovered by Kirtland. Betts got hit in the back, and what a play by the pass rush of the Hornets. A strip sack. Look here on the coverage here.
Yeah, watch the corner. Watch the backside.
Oh,
and
my
just,
goodness.
that's a classic right arm strip. Just classic.
Tyler Turk double A got back there and made the big play. His first sack of the night, and ends up being a strip sack. And Kirtland's going to get the ball back in deep in Crusader territory. Thought maybe there was a chance it could have been a pass, but again, Betts just couldn't get that arm forward to throw it through.
Yeah, and again, remember, no replay challenges at this level until the state finals. But, yeah, again, another momentum change.
No, they're gonna say it was a pass. He released the ball. How about that? So it is gonna be a punt. Sorry, folks, for the confusion there. That ball is gonna get downed for Kirtland just past the 45, down at their own about 43-yard line. And yeah, apparently the ball did move forward.
Okay, so the rest did talk it over.
Yeah, they talked it over
Okay.
before the initial turnover, so it just goes as a sack, and obviously they punt the ball away. A big deal, because you want to give Kirtland the ball at the 13-yard line.
Yeah,
already
not
have
at
two
that
scores.
spot.
No, yeah.
Not at that spot. You want them to work. You want them to work. Good job by the officials having that conversation, getting the right call in there, and
official ruling double A is incomplete pass. We found that out. So there you go.
Yeah. The hardest job in sports, officiating. Period.
What you gonna say, us?
No. I don't care if you're if like, hey, double A, you want to officiate like youth, like YMCA third grade basketball? Nope.
Not for him. As Laverty's gonna hand off to Alfieri, who's pushing forward, and it's spun down. Rocco Alfieri with a gain of maybe a yard or two.
It's going to be important here for Central Catholic to, get multiple hats to the football, and possibly what you might want to look for is you get a couple guys to get to Beers or Alfieri, have somebody in place to maybe get a strip, get in there, get that football, create a turnover against the Hornets.
Now Beers 105 yards rushing already. This one's going to be Laverty on a keeper. He cuts back inside, trying to push past the 45-yard line, and Canton Central Catholic able to get a big stop in the middle, only a gain of about 3 for Laverty.
So think about this. We were just talking about this a few moments ago. By that fumble being ruled incomplete pass, Central Catholic has an opportunity for a 3-and-out in decent field position.
Got to get that stop first. Beers in motion. He's going to hunker down on the left side. Laverty under center.
They got to watch the football, too.
Yeah, no jumping, no penalties. It's going to be a pitch outside. Here comes Alfieri. He cuts back left, pushing forward, and he's going to get the first down. He should by about a yard, maybe a half a yard. Great push by Rocco Alfieri. He needed about roughly 5.5 to 6 yards. He got about 7.
And it's just the yards after contact, just when you think, and everyone on Kirtland who touches the football offensively, they know how to extend the play. They know how to get the extra yard or two, without losing the football.
Alfieri flexing those muscles there. It's a first down and 10 on the other side of the 50 for the Hornets. Beers in motion again. It's going to be Alfieri. Gets caught up inside. Solid tackle. And a great read given by the defender. That was big 65 for Canton Central Catholic. Connor Thomas, the junior, able to make the stop.
That was an excellent read on his part, and they have an important job to identify, the guards and going from there.
Kirtland wasting no time. Beers going to get a pitch, and he's going to get brought down. Solid play on the outside, 21 there. Andrew Neal. Beers made him fall on that big run before. This time he says payback, loss of 2.
Absolutely, and this time, the defenders did not allow for the kick-out block to take place. They fired right off the ball and made the stop there, the shoestring tackle. It works. But the key for them, Kirtland has been successful on third downs. And even on the 3rd and 13, Central Catholic, they might have to watch something over the top here.
There we go. Yeah, Laverty double A in that shotgun. Don't usually see him there too much, and he is going to look to pass. Laverty going to throw over the middle, high, and it is caught, and he breaks free to the 5, touchdown. Jake Laverty over the middle. Gino Blasini gets in for 6, 50 yards for a score.
Man, this catch was incredible. It was all hands right there in the slant, just all hands, with that. And just the speed, just take it over. And again, that was a 3rd and 13. Just when you think you have Kirtland contained, they get that backbreaker play on the 3rd down over top.
Gino Blasini with an unbelievable catch. Good throw by Laverty too high. Only place his receiver could get it. And then able just to turn the Jets on and get in for 6 more. Kirtland now leads 20-0. Extra point on the way from Barisic, and it is good. 21-0 to score here on CVC TV. The Hornets out with a fury in this first quarter. I want to remind you guys, too, the presenting sponsor of CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Hey, their specialties include everything from dental surgery and implants to corrective jaw and facial surgery and trauma reconstruction. Now, for all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. As always, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Well, again, you mentioned it, 3rd and 13, pinned him back a little bit, thought he had a chance, and the Kirtland Hornets, who are known for, of course, the wing T style, multiple running backs, throw a 50-yard touchdown pass over the top of the Crusaders
and that
defense.
was just an incredible catch, Kyle.
Ugh.
That was just a great, just all hands, highest point, to the football. Laverty put the ball where only his receiver can get it. Low-risk turnover play. And, again, an emotional, mental play.
Just obviously a lot riding on this game being a second-round playoff. Winning, you're out. Winning, you're in. Keep going. Losing, of course, you're heading home. Right now, Canton Central Catholic trying to respond. Turning back in the inside, trying to find a lane and just nowhere to go. Luke Piper trying to find a lane again on that right side. Kirtland's found a spot where they've been able to kick it, where there's not a lot of running lanes, rather, when you're coming up the field on the return squad.
I believe second straight time, Kyle, that directional kick, as you just mentioned, and again, that affects the kicking lanes for the kick return team. I'm actually a little surprised more teams don't do that with directional kicks, across football. But, smart strategy cooked up by Kirtland special teams.
Well, chance again for the senior quarterback Betts to head back on the field. Can Central Catholic respond here? It's been tough going so far. Betts going to throw, looking to the right side. That one's going to be caught on a screen play. Flag comes in late, room to run. Breaking left and being brought down. Solid tackle in the open field by Kirtland, but that usually is in the area of some sort of interference or holding. We'll see what the official call is.
And again, I like to see the receivers get turned upfield. I know there's traffic right there. You're trying to create space, but it's too much speed on Kirtland's side to try to go all around the field. Just go upfield.
And they're going to call, I believe, defensive holding. So there's some options here. I think actually what would happen, it should be from the spot of the foul. Maybe they move 5 yards. It's different everywhere we go, unfortunately. But so the penalty happened at around the 30-yard line. Ball going to get placed as the referees walk it out here.
Got to make sure the steps are right, too. It's not always easy to get the, get the markers and stuff. Like, you don't usually worry about steps until you're under pressure to be concerned about your steps.
Well, Double A breaks down how to step properly.
Man. Hey, that's marching band experience right there, man.
Solid catch, by the way, by Zachary Cal Montgomery.
If you weren't on the right figures and stuff, that was it.
That play going to step out Central Catholic all the way up to inside the 40. Another throw, another catch. Breaking inside, room to run, brought down, spun past the 50. All right, some momentum now. Solid catch and run. And that was 85, James Kane, who made the play.
And great job by Kane. Just this time, immediately after the catch, turn right upfield, get those extra yards, and get close to the first down. Excellent job by the receiver.
Yep, 9 yards. Second catch of the first quarter for James Kane. Again, this offense obviously quiet. You can see the scoreboard on your screen. 0 points, but the Crusaders now officially crossed the midfield. Best chance to try and put some points on this Hornets team, defending a 21-0 lead. Where it's going to look, he's going to pump, he's going to throw, he's got a receiver, it's jump ball, it's intercepted! It's intercepted! Kirtland has the ball and brought down. What a play on the right sideline. How about that from Jack Lessick?
And he just read it. Lessick just read it and just sat right there. And again, and I can send it to the defensive side. These DBs and the receivers for Kirtland, they are reaching up in the air, all hands and grabbing the football at its highest point.
Phenomenal play by Jack Lessick. Saw him make a few plays back in that matchup against Perry, too. And plays both ways, can do some things on offense, too, but no more for his defense. Saw just there with the interception. A big spot, and Kirtland with another chance. They've had 3 drives, they've had 3 touchdowns. Last drive was the most controversial as far as trying to get something done. Of course, Jake Laverty and company made sure they took care of that too, but a chance again here. Laverty going to throw again, step up in the pocket. He's got a receiver, throws over the head of his intended target. Oh, it's just out of the reach of number 10. It's the guy who caught the first touchdown, Gino Blasini, and trying to go big home run number 2, but unsuccessful.
Man, that was close. Great pressure by Central Catholic, Canton Central Catholic. Great pressure that affected timing of the throw, because if that wasn't there, that's 6 points on the board.
Just a little bit of an overthrow from Laverty. Just now only his second pass attempt of this first quarter, which has been all Kirtland to this point, AA.
But the issue has not been, like, first and second down, Central Catholic's handled business. It's been third down.
Third down's been an issue. Beers going to get that handoff on the left side, spin through, just keeps on going. Will Beers having a fantastic game so far. He gets about 9 yards.
Good response there by the offense, and again, just the interior blocking is just right there. It's so hard to defend those counter plays. It is so hard to do it. Not just to identify, but then to actually follow through and execute, Kyle. It is very, very difficult.
Well, AA Will Beers on pace for over 400 yards rushing today. He's got 112 in his first quarter.
Amazing.
So fantastic. Couple big runs. No touchdowns yet for Beers, but still early as Kirtland tries to convert another third down. They've been pretty successful at these. They've scored at a couple third downs. And Laverty going to keep it himself, put his head down, spin through, and easily get through the first and down to about the 35-yard line.
That might have been one of the first times I've seen a spin move off of a QB sneak. just amazing. Just amazing. Just the variety that these players can provide here.
Yeah, Jake Laverty's got the experience. Of course, we talked to his dad, his coach, Tiger Laverty, a while back, obviously, against that Perry game, too, talking to him a little bit this week as well. And, yeah, he's been in this system for so long. He knows how to handle all the different steps and things that pop up. This time he's going to throw. That ball's going to be caught on the outside, breaking through, and eventually pushed out of bounds. And I tell you what, Blasini's been all over the field. Another big catch.
And they're utilizing him throughout all over the field. Great progression, too, by Laverty, just going right through. He felt the timing of the defense, got the ball off. Highest point again on the receiver side, and a big first down.
With that, it's going to be the end of the first quarter. The score 21-0. Kirtland on top of Central Catholic here on CVC TV. I told you there's a couple different games going on across the CVC, so let's check in and find out what else is happening. First quarter over in Cuyahoga Heights, the home Red Wolves leading United, the Golden Eagles, 7-0 in the first quarter in that game. Chardon on top of Geneva, 7-0 in the second quarter. That came over at Spire Academy. Of course, we were there last week. Gracious host being, of course,
and remember
Geneva Eagles.
Yeah, remember what we said about that matchup, Chardon and Geneva, that both of those teams are mirror images of each other. They're going to run the football a ton, and Chardon had a big win last year. We'll see if Geneva can respond this year.
Yep, 7-0 in that second quarter. Also the last game, Perry on top of Sandy Valley, 7-0 in their whole matchup in the second quarter of play as well. Of course, you know the score here, Kirtland 21-0 over Canton Central Catholic. And what has been a dominant performance so far from this rushing attack, and now we're seeing the passing attack really come to the game too for Kirtland.
Yeah, and the passing attack and the development of the passing attack is going to be something, if Kirtland's fortunate enough to go all the way to the state finals, again, that's going to be something that they need to craft out all the way on this road to hopefully another state title for this Hornets team.
Yeah, so if you're looking in the receiving game, obviously Gino Blasini's name comes up big time. He's got 2 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown through that first quarter, including that 50-yard bomb, the crazy catch. A good catch, too, on that last play to head out in the first quarter, too. A little bit of a high throw. He came down with it and made the play. He gave Kirtland his first down. Again, from inside the 20, going to be a handoff on the inside. Still pushing through and eventually spun down. Physical tackle. And against the Hornets there, again, that was Rocco Alfieri who got the run and a solid gain for Kirtland.
And he's going to look back at that particular play if they watch the film. If he cut to the right, he's in for 6. But what he ended up doing still was fighting through a tackle, again, getting those extra yards. And I can't say enough how critical it is for Canton Central Catholic, they got to get multiple guys to the football.
It's tough when you have so many options that can make plays back there. Is again, Laverty going to look. He's going to hand off. Actually, no, Laverty going to keep it himself. Thought it was a handoff to Alfieri. Great job with the misdirection. He's going to get tackled, though, for, want to say, enough for a first down. He only needed about a yard. He got about 2 AA.
Yeah, I would like to see, I believe that was Abbott there, number 32 for Crusaders. I like to see, he was there in the backfield, just the angle, there.
Kind of
just
followed
tough.
Laverty, towards the end, instead of making the play initially on the point of the fake handoff. Instead, just kind of let him circle ways through and get a gain of a
But
couple
again,
yards.
what makes it so tough is, again, you start to question yourself, defending just the way this offense operates.
Very much. It's going to be a handoff inside. I believe that's Beers, who should be just short.
I mean, the toughest thing about facing an offense like Kirtland, and, they're the absolute best at this, the toughest thing is mentally you start to question yourself. Because normal football games, you know what the assignment is and you know what you have to do to make the play. But you start to think in the back of your head, maybe the quarterback doesn't have the football. Maybe he's not going to keep the football. And in the moment that he does, it's like, oh, no, he has the football, and I was there to make the play.
Right. Now it's going to be a second down and goal at the 2. Handoff left side, and waiting for official word here, and they're going to say touchdown. Rocco Alfieri gets in again, his second rushing touchdown of the first half. And Kirtland's lead now up to 27-0 here at home. Another statement in this first half from the Hornets.
Taking advantage of short field, and, the Hornets handling business.
So it's another extra point attempt up for Nick Barisic. Perfect on the night. Hit his first 3, looking for 4 for 4.
Seen him booting field goals during warm-ups.
Cannon of a left leg. You don't see too many lefty kickers. That one's going to get blocked.
Great effort.
Wow, what a play on the right side of that line. That was 21. Heard his name a few times. Andrew Neal able to get his hands up and turn that corner and block it. Of course, we had the announcer's jinx there. There you go figure for Barisic. You look at the breakthrough.
Yeah, watch this effort right here. And we're waiting for somebody, off the gun. Lay out there and get the block. And Neal did that. And just incredible. Just great job there. The senior defensive back, one of the playmakers there. So, just lay it out there.
I could be wrong, AA, but after that replay, it looks like it went off Neal's face.
Yeah.
Like he blocked the ball with his helmet.
We talk about layout.
Let's look again.
Did that happen here?
I guess they're teasing us over in the booth. Let's see. So we're going to take a look. Again, great peel around. Yeah, he blocked it with his face. Wow. I'll tell you what.
But that's how you lay out, though, because you also saw him extend his arms, too. And, when you lay out, you do that. You have the open field that, something, anything, if you're Central Catholic, to turn the momentum just a little bit.
You need that little bit to kind of hold on to right now, because Kirtland has been dominant so far in this game, AA, and you're exactly right, kind of having something like that.
And what you don't want this thing, if you're Central Catholic, to get to the running clock, because you're going to lose possessions. So you need to, maintain and start to cut into this lead here well before halftime.
Fair to say this could be a pivotal drive on offense. And that's going to be a onside-ish type kick. It's a bit of a pooch and returned. Again, near the 35, maybe just past that. I believe that was 85, James Kane, who turned the corner and tried to get a few yards back. And here we go, back on offense.
And for those who are, joining us for the first time, the running clock, if a team, in this case Kirtland right now, if they get up to a 30-point lead by the start of the second half, the clock runs without any difference of time of possession, essentially. So you don't want that if you're Central Catholic.
And that's with Nagawa on his hip. Gonna take it himself, I believe, and that's gonna get maybe a couple on the play. And say they're actually gonna give him a generous spot, give him about 3 to 4 yards.
Good defense there for Kirtland, just on the interior, just crowding the line of scrimmage.
There hasn't been a lot there. There's been some success in the pass game, a little bit AA for Canton Central Catholic to this point, but again, the interception too coming from Jack Lessick on the other side, just not a lot to hang your hat on right now if you're the Crusaders offense.
And they impact your timing, and this is what they do.
And Betts in that shotgun again, looking, under pressure, steps up. Betts looking, he's going to roll off to his right and brought down. Solid play on the inside. That 39 from Kirtland. Again, McQuire Boyd, the senior, heard his name a few times here or there. He gets the big sack.
And Boyd, his story is interesting too, because you look across the defensive starters for Kirtland, only one person weighs over 200 pounds in that starting lineup, and that's Boyd. It's just,
and it's 215.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a guy that's unfortunately around my weight.
Yeah, 215 pounds.
He's still very much in shape, so that's good. And I'm very
all
much not.
lean muscle. Things that announcers in this booth do not have right now.
Only thing I lean is on the back of my chair. Here's Betts on third down. Going to throw. That's caught. Breaking through and just not enough there. Great catch by Kane, but try to turn upfield and is going to be just short of that first down.
Again, it's just the recovery speed by this defense. Just athletes all over the field. But we're going to see here his play is going to be stopping a Kirtland timeout.
Yes, so Kirtland will stop that clock. 7:55 to go in this first half. 27-0. Big fourth down coming up. That could really, honestly, at this point, decide the game as far as momentum is concerned. The Crusaders trying to keep something alive. Offense trying to put a few plays together here, but man, this fourth and short is going to be huge.
Yeah, and the thing is here with Canton Central Catholic, this game, the way it's playing out, it's not like Central Catholic has not been able to have any successful plays. And that's the frustrating thing. It's like there are hints of success, but but then it's that one mistake that Kirtland will force you to make. Now here on this fourth down, I would like to see how Kirtland lines up here. Again, senior, the curl route on the outside has worked. Start to utilize that a little bit. Go 10, go dig routes.
Yep, Kane.
Something on the outside.
Yeah, Kane double A with 3 catches already in this first half. He seems to be the go-to guy for Betts. Instead, going to throw it to the outside. That ball low, and I want to say it was possibly caught. We're in front of the sideline. Couldn't necessarily tell, but if it was still going to be short, I believe.
Yeah,
that was
going to be short.
That was 22, Daniel Boren, who did make that catch, I believe, but only got a yard, if that. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. Tough for the Crusaders there.
Yeah, that's why, again, I would have loved to see some kind of curl, a dig there. I think the problem there, if you run like a little bubble, is that these defenders are so quick in Kirtland that you're not going to have an opportunity to get your star receivers out of space. It's just not going to happen. And for Kirtland, they get the turnover on downs due to their speed defensively in defending that call.
And then they get great field position too, double A. Ball put down at their the Crusaders' 43-yard line. That's where Kirtland will start. One of their better starting field positions so far today. Might actually be their best. And you don't want to give that to an offense that's been clicking on all cylinders so far in this first half. Beers in motion. Laverty going to look to pass. He's going to throw over the middle. That one is caught. Breaking through Blasini again. Back to the right side. Out of bounds. Just inside the 35-yard line.
That was a gutsy throw there, just with the traffic that was there on the receiving front. But, again, sharp throw, confident decision-making, and the big play down the field.
Well, the amount of trust you have in the 6'2", 200-pound Blasini, that senior, who has been the go-to guy all
That's
season
your
long.
rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it. Why not? And he's been on target today. Again, Laverty 3 of 4 for 81 yards. All 3 of those completions, all that yardage, that 1 touchdown, all to Blasini tonight. Laverty back under center, second and short. Maybe a pitch. Here comes Alfieri cutting back inside. And able to churn those legs and get that first down for Kirtland.
And the yardage just adds up, man. It just adds up. And just the physical toll that it takes, on you as a defense. again, you thinking you're getting the stops, but it's 5-6 yard gains per carry, and it just makes it tough.
It really does. And again, Kirtland with another first down, now on the 28-yard line of the Crusaders, threatening to get on the board again. Handoff Beers, right side, trying to push through the pile. And Beers going to get brought down after a short gain. Maybe about a yard or two double A on that carry.
Yeah, and, just got to keep on, got to toughen up right here. Defensively, you have that opportunity again to, keep contained on the scoreboard and, keep operating. But just watching Kirtland just, again, we've had them for 2 games, just watching them work, watching them operate. It's a system that's been established here by Coach Laverty for years.
It also starts at like first grade. These guys all know this system. It doesn't really change. Just a couple wrinkles here or there as Beers gets the handoff, cuts back inside. Beers going to push through and get close to a first down. He might be just short. We'll see where the official marking is. And they actually are going to give it to him for a first down.
And you mentioned that starting with first grade, just walking over around on both ends of the field, you got kids like here in this new field. There's a small field on the other end of the end zone. You got young kids who know how to throw a perfect football. It's some young boys and girls who know how to throw a perfect football, and they're down there in the ends, and the way this program's established, their parents are thinking, all right, years from now, they're going to be playing on the big field in these playoff games.
Laverty again under center, going to hand off. It's a quick one. And a flag coming in late, going to be a touchdown, but there is a penalty, so we'll pump the brakes as Alfieri able to trot in for a 16-yard score, but that's going to be against the Hornets, so we're going to move it back. First penalty against this offense tonight. It wipes a touchdown off the board.
I was thinking of a story that Coach Laverty, Tiger Laverty, was telling us when we were here in week 3. And, brand new stadium here. In the past, they've had to host playoff games in Minter and a couple other different fields and stuff. And Coach Laverty, he was saying, it's like, man, for the playoffs, I'm going to miss having like the natural grass because of the running game. That's our advantage.
I think he's changing his tone maybe a little bit now.
I think he'll be okay with the turf.
So the ball moving back. Laverty going to throw again. That one's caught on the right side. And just not a lot there. Great job by Canton Central Catholic. They swarm the receiver. And no, it was not Blasini, so we can put someone else on the board. Now that was Will Sale with the catch.
And he will make an impact too at some point. But that's defensively, if you want to pinpoint a play where it's like, hey, do this. Find a way to do this. I know it's hard, and I know it can't be done every play, but multiple guys to the football, swarming the football, and that's what you want to do. And you got the encouragement from the visiting fans off of that play. That's what you want, and that's how you can kind of lock down and force a second and long here.
It's 2nd and 13 on the 19, so we are in field goal range, but obviously you want to talk about touchdowns. That double reverse handoff on the right side. And able to get a decent gain. Let's curl in there. How about that? A little bit of trickery.
And this is what they do. Just when you think, oh, there's not another special way to run the football. How many other ways you can hand the football off to somebody in the backfield? They find a way to do so. Yeah. But this is manageable here, Kyle. If you're Central Catholic, only, a 3rd and 7 here. This is manageable.
Yep. That was Danny Alfieri, of course, number change today with the alternate gray uniforms. A story from a source that just got these as a gift a couple years ago. Decided to bring out the gray jerseys.
How about that?
For the matchup. Laverty going to look to throw. Left side. He's got a receiver. It's caught. And it is, I think they say incomplete. Blasini, they're waving it off for a second. It should be at least a first down and goal. It was complete. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kyle. There was another official who ruled on the backside who ruled it a first down.
Good. Okay. Yeah. The official closest to the play was originally waving off the catch. But Bocini obviously had probably like 3 feet in bounds.
Yeah,
at
I was
that
going to
point.
say, was there an issue with the from my angle, I didn't see the feet, so I'm like, okay, if there was an issue with that.
That's
but
the only thing I could think of for a reason why it wouldn't have been a catch, but it was, and that's going to be first down and goal now for the Hornets. And off inside, breaking through, in for 6. Another touchdown.
Touchdown run.
And the score balloons again, 33-0.
And the story of this game to this point, Kyle, you mentioned it. You know, Central Catholic's defense has had success on first and second down, but Kirtland's offense finds a way seemingly every time on third down. Doesn't matter if it's third and medium, third and long, does not matter. They find a way.
I believe that was Beers that was able to get in for 6, his first touchdown of the night on the 10th carry. He's had a fantastic evening, 128 yards to go with that score. Extra point, last one's blocked. This one is up, and it is good. 34-0 the score. Kirtland on top of Canton Central Catholic here on CVC TV. Hey, a reminder, presenting sponsor of the broadcast tonight, of course, is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include everything from dental surgery and implants to corrected jaw and facial surgery and trauma reconstruction. That's right. Hey, for all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. As always, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. A quick score check-in across Northeast Ohio, the CVC teams that are in action tonight. Still 7-0 to score as we move into the second quarter of play. Cuyahoga Heights ahead of United. The Red Wolves beating the Gold Eagles there. Tied up over at Spire Academy, 7-7, Geneva and Chardon.
That's a barn burner.
I'll tell you what, tie game there. And Perry now on top, 14-0 over Sandy Valley. The Cardinals going up to get Northeast Ohio, the northeastern part of Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
They trailed by 2 scores to Perry, who's been on a roll all season long. Of course, undefeated this year in Division 5. And, of course, here, 34-0 to score. Kirtland on top of the Crusaders. The visiting Canton Central Catholic Crusaders. Long drive up, and it's been tough sledding on the field so far, Double A.
Yeah, we're going to see again if there's going to be another directional kick or if Kirtland decides to switch it up on the special teams.
And it's been all facets of the game so far tonight. Kirtland's been able to.
Oh, squid kick here.
Yeah, another one. That ball's going to get bobbled, and it requires Canton to fall on it there.
I'm telling you again, Kyle, they mess with your mind, man.
It's. I was there, man.
I was there, man.
See you ready with the recovery. Yeah.
They mess with your mind, man. And every play, special teams. There's supposed to be a simple kick return, go up the field, you start new possession. Now you got to worry about a squid kick and get into possession. They mess with you, man.
Brennan Betts trying to right the ship here for the Crusaders. He's going to look at the pass, stepping up, throwing, long throw to the outside. It's caught and breaking through, a big return, and it's going to go 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. How do you respond? Just like that. 71 yards for a touchdown. Great catch and run by Daniel Boren.
And I think that obviously woke everybody up on the Central Catholic sideline. A great ball and way to step into a miscommunication defensively. And for the first time since week 8, the first string defense for Kirtland gives up a score.
And it was a big one. 71 yards for a touchdown.
Again, a defense that has only given up 6 points in the last 8 games.
Well, Double A, we are in the postseason. These teams are here for a reason as the extra point is up, and it is good too. 34-7 the score. And Crusaders not done yet. Again, I always say this every week, man. We are in high school football in the great state of Ohio. Anything is possible. We saw a team here in Kirtland in week 3 fall to Perry for the first time at home in the regular season since 2016. Anything is possible here tonight.
Definitely. And again, we talked about before, like there have been hints of success with Canton Central Catholic. It's just they haven't been able to put it together. Forget about a sustained drive. So one play, get in the end zone, and put points on the board. And again, miscommunication defensively between the defensive backs on the outside that led to the touchdown. And I'm telling you what, with Kirtland standards, you might be looking more so at that play tomorrow than possibly anything else that happens.
Tell you what, great job too by Betts to step up, pressured on the outside, climbed the pocket, made the solid throw. I think great job too by Bourne to make that catch and turn the corner and turn on those Jets. And again, yeah, good job. And it's going to be an onside kick. The ball's trickling through, and it's a live ball. Canton may have it. Flag coming in. I think they were short. I think they needed to go to the 50. They only got to the 49. They're saying there's some arguments that maybe Kirtland touched it, but there is no such thing as I believe that's going to be Kirtland football. Or at least the penalty here, and we'll see maybe a re-kick, but I believe Kirtland will just take the ball. And they will.
Mm-hmm.
That ball it needed to go one more yard.
Yeah, it almost did. It was almost executed.
Obviously, we're on the visitor sideline. You can hear the fans, too. Not happy with that. Thought Kirtland did touch it. And the touch was there. It was a solid onside kick as far as letting that ball trickle forward. If it's not going to go 10 yards, you have to have Kirtland touch it first. And it looks like Canton Central Catholic got a little bit froggy and jumped on it just a yard too soon. Otherwise, we could be talking about their football with momentum. Instead, Kirtland going to have the ball near midfield.
I'll say this, though. Love the play call. I love the play call. I mean, you have the momentum and you want to steal, and you understand the assignment. You want to steal possessions away from Kirtland when you have the opportunity, and they was essentially a yard away from stealing a possession.
No, so the Alfieris as well as Beers back there. Laverty going to hand it off to Alfieri. That one being Rocco Alfieri, who gets a solid gain.
Now, if you're Kirtland, now it's time to take the game back. Now it's time right now, just like that, run the football right down the field, take this game back, and, reestablish dominance.
Kind of have to, because now we're seeing some momentum shift over to Canton Central Catholic. And Kirtland needs to remind and kind of put the foot down on the gas here to try and get that lead back up. Handoff. Beers spinning through. Lyman doing somersaults out there, and it's close to a first down, if not past it, and it should be for Kirtland.
Yeah, out here at our Olympic trials here tonight.
I thought that was at Spire last week, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, we did not get a chance to see their swimming pool last week.
But we saw the entire campus, which, by the way, obviously a great facility here at Kirtland, but Spire is phenomenal too.
Unreal.
Oh.
Our press box, or our booth, was basically in an office.
I feel like I was in a meeting with you for like 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, how about that? 1st and 10. The Hornets quick handoff up the middle. That is Alfieri, who keeps pushing forward. For all intents and purposes, that should have been maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, but the wheels and the legs keep churning, and Alfieri gets a solid gain of about 6 or 7.
Absolutely, and that's just been between him and Beers. Like, that's what they've been doing, is just getting those extra yards, and it's helped out to this point.
22 carries between those two, 11 apiece so far, AA. They've got over 180 yards rushing in this first half. It's been dominance from Beers and Alfieri, of course. 3 total touchdowns on the ground between them two as well. And Laverty under center, going to turn. Going to throw the pass. It's going to be caught on the right side. There's a flag that comes in late. That could be a roughing call. Very, very late flag. And no, they're actually, it looks like going to call holding on Kirtland. In the area of where it normally would be possibly a late hit on the quarterback, but instead it's going to be holding, and that's going to drive the ball back, so take away the completion.
Yeah, and that play, developed a little bit slowly. There was good pressure. Obviously, you set up the screen there, but, you didn't like the timing there, and that had a big part to do with the holding.
All right, so we're going to move the ball back to it looks like about the 42-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and roughly about, I want to say 14 here. So, 10-yard penalty from that spot. So here we go. 2:10 to go in this first half. You can see on your screen, Kirtland on top, 34-7. Crusaders trying to hang around as best they can. Laverty looking to pass. He's got time. He's going to break to his right. Still looking. He's going to take off. Laverty breaks to the right and goes out of bounds. And a late hit.
Oh, man.
That's backbreaking for this Crusader defense.
I was going to say, defensively, they handled it perfectly. All their guys dropped back into coverage. It forced Laverty to take off and get minimum yardage, but the late hit might take all of that away.
The ball's going to get scooted on up. Usually that results in, I want to say, about a 15-yard penalty.
That's going
Memory
to
serves me
be an
right.
automatic first down.
And it will be, yep. Going to move that ball all the way up to inside the 30.
And they had them dead to rights. The secondary defended that perfectly. And it's just, again, the mental aspect of this football game.
Tough first penalty for this Canton Central Catholic defense. And it gives Kirtland a first down. Laverty, quick pass to the outside. It's caught by Blasini. He cuts back inside, tries to spin through and brought down. Great job to keep Blasini at bay there. That's 85, a receiver you normally see. James Kane, who was in playing some defense.
Yeah, the senior defensive back / receiver. 6'3", 175 pounds. He had to use all of his range to make the play out there, open field tackle.
You gain of about 5 to 6 yards. So here we go. Second and short, handoff, right side. And again, just methodical. Alfieri with another carry, and that should be at or near the first down.
And just using the clock. But it's not rushed, right? You know, this is not like, okay, we got to get up to the line. You know, we got to get going. No, this is practiced all the time, and they know how to operate, and this is where they do their best work. They have been doing their best work in the red zone, this Kirtland offense.
Alfieri enough for that first down. Laverty going to keep it himself, breaking right side. He's out of lane. Laverty going to jog into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Jake Laverty who got in for 6. Kept it. On the quarterback end around. Had Beers as an option to pitch back double. I said, nah, you know what, I'm going to keep it to myself.
I'll be honest. I didn't think he had the football. I was watching the interior in there, defensively, but, the Hornets opening this thing back up, and, off we go.
Now for Jake Laverty, his second rushing touchdown of the night. He's got a passing touchdown as well to Blasini earlier in this first half. Extra point lined up, and it is good. Barisic knocks it through. 41-7 the score. Kirtland Hornets on top of the visiting Canton Central Catholic Crusaders here on CVC TV. Excuse me there. Break through on a beautiful night here in Kirtland, Ohio. 54 degrees, we'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Now, I don't want to jinx anything, but there is rain in the forecast. So by 9 o'clock, we're supposed to have some 100% chance of some sort of showers. Of course, my crew is looking at me now like they want to just smack me for saying that.
You really did not have to bring that up, man.
Oh, yeah.
You really.
But I'd rather you guys know than have us just kind of get blindsided by it, right? I mean, that's fair. All of a sudden, no, it's raining. Well, at least it's still kind of warmer out, which is kind of nice. It's November. We'll take 50s in November here in Northeast Ohio. That's not terrible. Right?
Max.
Right, cool.
Up the forecast.
So we're not in Willoughby.
Let me see the forecast. Yeah, you're not the chief meteorologist of this crew.
I just looked at this. Kirtland is where you see the rain in the forecast, but not Willoughby.
You pulled up Willoughby.
You're in Willoughby, buddy. That's the wrong city. It's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Hey, 13-0 to score, by the way. Cuyahoga Heights on top of United in the second quarter out there in Cuyahoga Heights. So the Red Wolves flexing their muscles.
There, see, that's the right forecast.
That's the one I got a little bit nervous about there.
Yeah.
By the way, still tied up at the half now. Chardon Geneva, another pooch kick inside. Great job there by James Kane to fall on that ball. Chardon Geneva 7-7 halftime there at Spire Academy. Good game going on between those two. 21-0. Winding minutes and seconds to the second quarter. Perry on top of Sandy Valley as well. So Perry and, of course, Kirtland here at home on their way to the more dominant teams. Great game, obviously, going on at Spire. And Cuyahoga Heights flexing their muscles, too. CVC playing pretty well so far tonight.
And Cuyahoga Heights was in a dogfight a week ago.
Oh, that game against Ripman was back and forth. 41-40. They pulled that one out. A little less stressful, at least for now. We'll keep an eye on that score throughout the game. Pass outside. There is Kane again, who gets the reception and gets out of bounds. Just 30 seconds to go in this first half. And again, the Crusaders trying to piece together another drive to put some more pressure on this Hornet defense.
And they have the opportunity to, again, getting out of bounds. They have all 3 of their timeouts, so they have an opportunity to get some successful plays. Defensive backs dropping back for Kirtland. And you got 3 of them lined up at about the 40.
Betts again in that shotgun, going to take a snap, look to his left, throw, it's a quick pass, it is caught. Past the 50, down to the 46-yard line. Boron with another big catch. And timeout, going to be called by Canton Central Catholic.
Yeah, Kirtland taking the prevent defense approach, just keeping things underneath. But, Central Catholic, they could take advantage of it, at least early on here, with a full array of timeouts. And, Kyle, like you just mentioned, they used their first. So you can get big chunk plays over the middle, 10, 15, 20 yards. Use a timeout, get to the red zone.
The thing is tonight, Brennan Betts has been fairly good for the most part. Had that one mistake, that interception thrown to Jack Lessick. But other than that, 8 of 11 for 122 yards and that touchdown pass, too, of 71 yards to Bourne, and we just saw him make that big catch across midfield. He's been able to have success, complete a lot of passes. The problem is, again, only 7 points to show for it. Now,
there's something that Kirtland's going to have to watch for. There was a play that Central Catholic converted last week before halftime. It was a hook and ladder.
Oh.
Completed that, and it was a score. So that's something that Kirtland's going to have to watch.
Betts again in that shotgun, looking to throw. He's going to get brought down. What an unbelievable play. No, he's still on his feet. Betts actually cutting back up the middle and got lost in the shuffle and got past 35. Great job.
He spun his way out of there, Kyle.
Wow. I could not believe he got through that.
He spun his way out of there.
11-yard gain and a first down out of bounds. Great job by Betts. I thought for sure that he was going to be dead to rights out there, but Betts keeps the chains moving.
He did a great job. He did a great job. The senior quarterback putting this drive on his back here. This is good clock management to this point, and there's still only two timeouts.
14 seconds to play with here if you're Betts in this offense. And you're in that range now inside that 40 where you could possibly throw one deep. And Betts this time still breaking through. A late flag comes in. He gets brought down for a sack. Usually that's in the area of some sort of holding. We'll see what the official call is. And they're going to say a face mask.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And that should be against Kirtland.
And I'm going to assume you're going to tackle on 15 yards.
At the end of that play, it should, move the Crusaders up. Kirtland's defense getting pegged for the second time tonight with a penalty. And, again, Canton Central Catholic going to take that second time out. 7 seconds to go. The ball's going to get moved up. I would assume at some point here shortly.
Yeah, so they're looking into. I wonder too if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to make a clock adjustment to add a couple extra seconds. But, here you got an opportunity. And this is big, too, because we made a point about the running clock. So a 30-point difference, you have a running clock starting in the third, right at the top of the third quarter. If Central Catholic can score here, the running clock is not in effect. And we typically do not bring up the running clock, but because the way that Kirtland operates their offense, where it's just ground and pound and, possession time really matters, it is critical for Central Catholic to get into this end zone right here, right now.
Very much. Again, 30 yards to go in 7 seconds. Can Betts and company do that? We're going to find out. In 1st and 10 on their own, on the Kirtland by the 30-yard line. Looking to pass. Betts going to step up. He's got some room. He's going to get brought down. Solid play on defense by Kirtland. And that's going to send us to halftime. The score 41-7. A late push, but the Crusaders cannot get into the end zone. That's how we break for half. Of course, we'll have first half stats and get ready for second half action from Wilson Stadium here in beautiful Kirtland, Ohio. After this break, enjoy the bands. We'll see you soon.
feature our flags and majorettes for this song released in 2016 by Sia, and one of my favorites. Here is Cheap Thrills.
Aqueduct, we specialize in algae weed control on lakes and ponds. We really fit our programs to meet our customers' needs. Fountain, aerator, fish stocking, beach, water quality testing. Main goal for our customers is to have a nice, balanced, healthy ecosystem. They come home from work or wake up in the morning and have that great view of the pond or the lake with no worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment to recognize our new partner, John Funeral Homes and Celebration Center. John Funeral Homes is more than just a funeral service provider. They are dedicated to honor your loved ones and create meaningful celebrations of life. When it comes to celebrating life's special moments, the John Celebration Center provides a beautiful venue to gather, reflect, and share memories, creating a comfortable and welcoming space for all. Whether you're seeking support during difficult times or looking to create lasting memories, the John Funeral Homes and Celebration Center is here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Bailey, dentist and owner of Kirtland Dental. I have been serving the community of Kirtland for over 30 years, whether it's supporting local sports teams, working with and supporting the Kirtland Water, and to the home of local projects. The teams that we need the designate of Kirtlanders. We love making Kirtland smile. Go Hornets!
Allison.
Take your business to the next level with Notion's AI tools, designed for the next generation.
Sausalito Catering has been top-rated by Kickoff since 2015. Whether it's a wedding, birthday, office lunch, or even breakfast, Sausalito does it all. Call us 440-596-4300 or email info@sausalitokirtland.com to reserve catering for your event today.
Winning lottery ticket, the winning 50-50 ticket. Pull your tickets. We're calling the ticket here in a minute or two. The winning ticket is a yellow ticket. Yellow 787-949.
I mean, wraps could be pulled off. No, but I think everyone would think.
Welcome back in, folks. Halftime here at Wilson Stadium, beautiful Kirtland, Ohio. The score 41-7. The home Hornets on top of the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Yours truly, Kyle Cornell, alongside AA Anthony Alford on the call tonight. AA, it's been all Kirtland in this first half.
Yeah, and Kirtland has been finding ways, particularly on third downs, to get the big plays. And, Central Catholic, we talked about, in the first half, they've done some good things. And really, you go all the way back to the last drive before halftime, where they had all 3 timeouts, and, they were able to drive pretty much right down the field, but, they gave up a sack. And the sack, time ran out. They couldn't get more points on the board. And that's been the story of this first half. Kirtland has been taking advantage of opportunities, the mental game, and obviously they've been able to run the football, their bread and butter, however they've wanted to throughout this game, and also when they needed to, throw the ball over the top.
And very much as there are 3 other CVC teams that are in action tonight too. Here across Northeast Ohio. Still halftime, starting the third quarter out in Cuyahoga Heights. The home Red Wolves on top of United, the Golden Eagles there, 13-0.
And the winner of our game here is going to face the winner of the Cuyahoga Heights game next Friday.
It's going to be a fun matchup there, looking like possibly. So 2 CVC teams matching up there. Third quarter over at Spire Academy. The home Geneva Eagles hosting that game. They're down 14-7 against Chardon. Chardon able to come out in the third quarter and get a score. So 1-possession game over at Spire, not too far from us here in Kirtland, Ohio. And the other matchup, really quick AA, 21-0 at halftime. Perry over Sandy Valley. The home Perry Pirates, of course, undefeated on the season. Big win last week and looking to keep that momentum rolling through.
Yeah, and real quick, I wanted to mention too about the Geneva game, Geneva and Chardon. That's a playoff rematch from a year ago. Chardon took care of business a year ago in that matchup. So Geneva playing that close. We saw their running attack last week. But again, 2 teams, mirror image of each other, who's going to be able to make those critical stops. And of course, as you mentioned, Perry, real deal, the real deal, Perry.
The only team to face this team tonight in Kirtland and really just handed to them earlier this season. 24-6 was the score here at Wilson Stadium. We talked about it before. I mean, just first loss since 2016 during the regular season at home for the Kirtland Hornets. Since then, they've been just a buzzsaw when it comes to facing teams. More of the same tonight. Talk about the different guys that are able just to make plays. Go down the list on offense. Talk obviously about Jake Laverty. You talk about Will Beers and Rocco Alfieri, and of course Laverty able to run the ball too in that offense, not just throwing the ball like he has tonight. The receiving game, you're seeing Blasini make some big plays out there. Defensively, Kessick able to make a big interception in this game as well on defense. I mean, just all-around effort we've seen from Kirtland since that loss week 3 to Perry has been just unbelievable.
And it starts with the offensively. It starts with the offensive line. Actually, just up front, period. On both sides of the ball. It starts with the linemen. It starts with the Hawks, and they have been able. We talked about the initial drives, getting the kickout blocks, and Central Catholic made a little bit of an adjustment, but in terms of Jake Laverty having time to make something happen in terms of Will Beers being able to have a long go-ahead touchdown run, because you have guys at the first level and second level driving their legs and blocking defenders down the field in open space. I mean, that has really been the difference, and this program knows. Everybody in this town knows, from the adults in the stands to the kids out on the side here playing football right now. Every person knows that is Kirtland football, and that you have to shine up front on the line in the month of November. And that's just the standard that's been set for years upon years by head coach Tiger Laverty.
And again, we talked about it. Could possibly be, if the things stay the way they are now, an all CVC matchup next week between Kirtland and Cuyahoga Heights. Got to get there first, though. Of course, Cuyahoga Heights got to take care of business at home, and the same goes for Kirtland. We've talked about it. Anything's possible in high school football in the great state of Ohio.
And Kirtland has to, and they got to finish here themselves. I'm sure when they went to that locker room, I'm sure they were upset that there are 7 points on the board for Central Catholic, and it was off of miscommunication in the secondary. The big run, on the outside, I believe it was Kane who had the touchdown. So that was just those are the things that are being discussed right now, or was being discussed in the locker room, and we'll see if the Hornets are going to be able to lock down and again dominate this football game.
And again, normally one of the defensive backs, Braylon Tabellion, was for Canton Central Catholic. He's out today. Missing number 15 out there. Talking about one of those key injuries. We had one of those last week too with Hawken as well, where it just kind of seemed like we were missing one or two key guys that could maybe bring your entire team back around. You don't want to say it's obviously just a one-person team, but it matters when you're missing a key cog like that. A starting linebacker, starting defensive back. You lose those kind of pieces, and it's a lot of, obviously, next man up. You don't want to make excuses, but it can pop up and show on your play on the field if you're losing one of those key contributors on the offense or defense.
And remember, again, an additional game, because of the expanded schedule, shorter preseason. So it's just, maintain the number of bodies. And we're seeing this at every level of football. Even the NFL, definitely in the NFL, we're seeing this with, multiple quarterbacks being lost in the NFL.
Any fans of Kirk Cousins out there?
Yeah. You can start naming teams. I mean, just, losing guys, left and right.
I will name one that's close to your heart, but
you name them all.
Number 4 has missed a little bit of time this year. So,
and all of that's the point, though. It's just like maintaining and taking care of your body here, this 6-week playoff journey.
As the directional kick is back there. Again, it's been the key, and the ball's going to get fumbled out of bounds. Just inside the 30-yard line, and that's where, again, the Crusaders will take over possession. 7-4 in the year, big win last week in the 8-9 matchup. Took care of business, but tough sledding today. Again, Cardinal last week, today Kirtland. Just the offense had that be a little bit of a solid showing there with that big play in that first half. Other than that, double A, it's been just tough sledding.
Absolutely, and just that pressure up top, the Kirtland defense going to create that. But this drive right here, critical in the complexion of this game here.
Yeah, Betts going to hand off on the end around. Spun down, and Kirtland reads it. And that was a handoff to 21. We talked about Andrew Neal, the senior, and he checked in on offense and had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and Neal tried to turn upfield. I believe he slid on the turf. The turf a little bit. This is not September. A little bit more soggy there.
And again, expecting some precipitation here in the forecast. Obviously, it's still in the 50s, so possibly some rain this evening. So far, looks like it's been able to hold off, but yeah, wet conditions can only make things even more difficult on turf. As now Betts going to look to throw it second and long over the middle. Throw, it is caught. What a play on the outside. That's Boren. Had a touchdown in that first half for 71 yards. This time makes a big play over the middle.
Yeah, and Boren is going to be somebody they're going to be looking towards here. 38 receptions coming into this game, 619 yards receiving. One of the critical guys in the air. Also, on the ground, 703 yards rushing as well. So one of those critical guys for Central Catholic.
And Bourne over 100 yards now receiving on the day, as it's going to be 3rd and short, maybe about a long yard. Hand off again. And turning the corner. This time he's able to get the first down. No negative play on that time. Still pushing forward is Neal, who moves the chains.
Utilizing the playmakers and just the speed and running there. And just, that's what you want to see there. Coming right out of the gates, that belief and knowing, hey, this is the playoffs. Leave it all out there.
Solid end around for 11 yards and a first down for Andrew Neal. Again, the senior who normally is more on the defensive side of the ball, but getting some more opportunity now in the offense. Trying to open up that playbook, make some big plays to get back in this ball game. Burt's again in the shotgun. Bourne in motion. He's going to hand off on the inside to his running back, who's able to break through in a big gain down to the 45-yard line. Haven't called his name too much tonight. Grady Noggle with the carry and another first down.
And this time Central Catholic taking advantage of the over-aggressiveness of Kirtland. You know, using a little bit of the delayed handoff there and going right up the field, finding success, getting the big plays on first down.
And Noggle, just his 3rd carry of the night. He's got 16 yards on 3 carries. It's good to see him get a little more active in this second half. 1st and 10 again now. The Crusaders with some movement and some momentum on the Kirtland 45-yard line. This time's going to be a key by Burtz. He's tripped up and brought down after a gain of maybe a yard. Had a lane, but great job by the defensive line of Kirtland to stop that before it got started.
Man, he knows it too. He knows that lane and that opportunity was there. But if you're Canton Central Catholic, can't get down at this moment. This is where Kirtland, you know, mentally will start to settle in here now. You know, you got to take full advantage here and get after it.
It's almost like they feel more comfortable, the defense, when the ball crosses the 50 for some reason.
It's amazing.
Doesn't really make sense, but Kirtland football just dominant in their own right. Here we go. Crusaders throw over the middle, and that's incomplete. The ball was tipped and almost intercepted. It looked like the defender on the play tried to tip that ball up. It was Lessick who had that pick in that first half, and ball on the turf. Tried to throw it back up to another one of his teammates, but just couldn't, so it's going to be 3rd down.
And it was close, but you had a 2-man mad dash to the quarterback, and Betts had to rush his decision-making. He had a receiver, had a couple of them open here on the near side, but you have to rush that decision. You're going to be thankful you get an incompletion.
3rd and a long 8. Betts going to look to pass, throwing over the middle. It's high, and it's incomplete. He was going for his intended receiver who got knocked down. That was Boren. Just a little bit over the top. Kind of a sidearm-ish delivery there from Betts.
And maybe, I don't know if I would call that miscommunication there as well, but, you know, a lot of physicality happened and affected the timing of the play. And got a 4th down coming up.
Talked about it just when they kind of felt like maybe the wheels were turning, the cogs were starting to move in the machine. That's this Crusader offense. Now a 4th down, and again, we are definitely in 4-down territory for the foreseeable future for the Crusaders.
And it started just with a trip. Betts just right up the gut when he had an open pocket, open lane.
Had probably about 10 yards in front of him if it wasn't for that trip, and now he's trying to convert a 4th down. He's feeling the pressure. Betts going to roll. This time he's got the room. He's going to have the first down and more. Betts breaking right side inside the 30. Still on his feet. And maybe there was a flag that came in late. Thought we saw a piece of yellow laundry out there. Looks like there is one down by the 20-yard line. We'll see what the official ruling is here.
And again, that would be a momentum killer if it's against Central Catholic.
Betts able to get through, and we're walking this one back. It looks like it is going to be against the Crusaders, possibly. Let's see the official ruling here. And no, they're going to call it against Canton Central Catholic. So it should still be a first down, just not going to be as much of a gain because of where the flag was thrown, I believe.
Gotcha. And, you know, but the chains still move here.
Which is important. Just keeping possession on that 4th down.
It's that momentum, you know, and at this point, this is what you're trying to push. And yet the scoreboard just updated to a first down.
Yep, 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line of Kirtland. So the penalty moved him back a little bit, but still a first down. Betts on a bit of a draw, and he just gets swallowed up in the middle there, trying to gain some more yards in the middle, maybe a yard, if that, on the carry.
And that was a good read there by the defense, particularly the guys up front and the linebackers identifying that. And it's like the adjustment out. You've seen a couple big plays go up the middle, and particularly Betts keeping it. So, now you got to contain that. Kirtland very stingy defensively, getting near the red zone.
Talk about when you cross that 50, things get a little more tight, especially when you play the Hornets. Betts going to look to pass again. He's got pressure, and he's going to get brought down. Take your pick. Alfieri back there, as well as number 70 for the Kirtland Hornets, too. That's Jack Knoop, who's actually a freshman.
That was a mad dash.
Wow.
On the outsides, and just huge. Take a look there.
Oh,
no
Alfieri.
chance.
Oh, my
no
goodness.
chance. Just a mad dash on the outside. And good containment there, because sometimes you get that free release. Sometimes you can be undisciplined and run wild, but came right down the line and made the sack.
Loss of about 9 yards here, so it's going to put up 3rd and 17. Betts able to control the snap, step up in the pocket. He's under pressure again. Another flag coming down. He's going to get brought down at the 35. That is in the area of holding, so we could be moving back here again. Looks like we're going to be holding, but it may be against the defense.
Yeah, this against the defense.
Wow, on a run play. Well, I guess it was a pass play that Betts converted into a run.
It'll count in the stats as a run play, a forced run play. But here we go, a drive. I believe Central Catholic has had the football this entire quarter here so far.
That running clock double A, you're right, they've been able to keep possession. The problem is you talked about the disadvantage of having a running clock is the play the clock doesn't stop. You're not able to have certain time frames.
Yeah, imagine getting the score before halftime, and then, here you have this type of drive, tack on like an extra 5 minutes if you didn't have the running clock.
Betts again in that shotgun. Gonna look to pass. Under pressure again, rolling out to his right. It's thrown, and it's incomplete.
That was dangerous.
Dangerous is right, Double A. Looking for his running back there on the outside, Noggle, and just, again, throwing it behind him. The defender was in the area, and that was close.
Yeah, you don't want to give freebies there, and that was close. That would have been a circus interception, but, it could have very well happened. And after all of that activity, a 4th down here, and Kirtland again has an opportunity. They've been on the field defensively for a while. See some hands on their hips. You got an opportunity to lock down, make the stop, and get things going.
See if Betts can do it. 4th and 6, converted last time with his feet. This time he's going to try and do it with his arm. Nope, feet again. He's brought down. What a play by Kirtland. Unbelievable. McQuire Boyd, we talked about him. Had a sack in that first half, adds another this half too. Huge defensive stand for the Hornets. And they're going to take over, turnover on downs.
And that was a great defensive play calling that the linebacker blitz there. Just swarming in there, almost kind of hiding there. Like how would Betts be able to pick that up, or a running back be able to pick that up? But a drive that, Kyle, I believe that drive took about 10 minutes of game time, but not able to get points on the board.
That's going to be a little deflating for a Crusaders team that felt pretty good in that first drive. They were making some moves, got some penalties to go their way as well. But now it's back to the Hornets. Laverde going to pitch to the outside. A big run. Here comes Beers. He breaks in down to the 45-yard line. Will Beers with another big run. His first of the first half. He's had a great night.
Unbelievable. And, every team that faces Kirtland, that 1-2 punch, number 11, number 18, it's just back and forth. Those two guys.
Well, Alfieri tonight, obviously, showing up on the defensive end, too, with a sack there before. He's got 12 carries for 55 yards and those 2 touchdowns. Will Beers had a couple of those big runs in that first half. He's got 12 for 154 and a touchdown. They've combined for over 200, obviously, total yards of rushing offense and 3 scores. You talk about it, a two-headed monster with Beers and Alfieri. And this guy, too, Laverty, looking to throw over the top. He's got a receiver. It's high, and it is incomplete. Play on the ball back there by number 11 for Canton Central Catholic, Luke Piper. We've seen him on the return game, and now there's a Kirtland player down. That is Will Sale, the senior wide receiver. Took a shot, Laverty did, and that ball ends up falling incomplete. That almost got intercepted there.
Yeah, that was great defensive effort there on a ball that, you know, if you look back, Laverty might want to kind of lead that in just a little bit more. Maybe with the colder air, the ball kind of just sailed out there. But they will, you know, attend to this injury.
Attend to Will Sale again, the senior. Mentioned we're going to call his name a few more times tonight, Double A. You mentioned that earlier on in the broadcast, and again, trying to take a shot to him. It gives us a chance to talk about a couple of people that make this possible here on CVC TV, the scoreboard sponsor for us, Independence Business Supply. Hey, they're an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities here in Cleveland, capable of shipping supplies anywhere. That's right, anywhere in the country. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with a single source for office products, facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. And head over to orderibs.com to learn more about their products and amazing customer service. I also want to let you know about the presenting sponsor of CVC TV, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgeries. That's Dr. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And as always, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Sale also able to get up under his own power and walk off the field. Good to see. As Kirtland will regain possession here, 2nd and 10 on the Crusader 45-yard line.
And again, we mentioned, like, these injuries are critical. Should Kirtland hold on and move forward here, you know, you don't want to lose bodies. Again, you still got week 3, 4, 5. You guys still got 4 more weeks if you win these games.
And Alfieri going to get that pitch to the outside, trying to cut through, and he's going to get run out of bounds for a loss. Great job by the Crusaders defense. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. The score 41-7. We're standing pat. Kirtland, big defensive stop at the end of that third frame, and now has the ball as we move into the fourth quarter of action.
Tell you what, a quarter that was basically one drive and some change. But again, this Kirtland the defense of Kirtland holding in, you know, and handling their responsibilities. But, you know, here we go, fourth quarter. 1 quarter to go before most likely Kirtland moves on. As I see, Kyle, you got some score updates across the CVC.
Yep, okay, let some folks know. Close game still over at Geneva, hosting Chardon over at Spire Academy in Geneva. 14-7 in the fourth quarter. Chardon still on top by a touchdown. Anyone's ball game out there in Geneva. The Eagles trying to move on and keep their playoff hopes alive. Perry on top of Sandy Valley now 27-0 in that third quarter of action. The Pirates leading the Cardinals there. And the score is still 13-0. Cuyahoga Heights over United. The Golden Eagles over in Cuyahoga Heights. The Red Wolves looking to advance and play the winner of this matchup, which for now looks like it will be the Kirtland Hornets. Still plenty of football to go in the fourth quarter, but looking like a possible Red Wolves and Hornets matchup maybe next week as we move closer and closer to Canton.
Yeah, we're getting close. Hard to believe this is the regional quarterfinal round.
What a year. It's all flown by so fast. As you see a 3rd and long on the way. Laverty going to throw another ball up in the air, and it is incomplete. They bobbled the ball on the sideline. They're going to say he didn't have possession. And I believe that was actually number 12 for the Hornets. Evan Kaprowski, the sophomore wide receiver, 6'3", 180. Not a bad guy to throw a jump ball to.
Yeah. Yeah, it would not surprise me if we see him during basketball season, but
maybe a few times.
Got to have control of the football. And, Kyle, I believe we're going to see a punt.
This is about as rare as a team scoring on Kirtland over the past 8 weeks. The punt unit possibly coming out. Of course, Alfieri handles the punting duties as well, so You always got that concern when you have number 11 back there. He can do a lot of different things for you. As that ball is going to get dropped. No one rushing now. If you're going to punt that ball away, and it's going to get dropped down and take a Canton Central Catholic bounce. Just inside the 30-yard line. That's where the Crusaders will take over.
Yeah, and they were playing the safe return. There's why you didn't see the rush.
I almost wonder if you're Kirtland in that situation. You probably could have picked it up and ran it if you wanted to, because everyone was focused on downfield. Close game. Good to have that maybe in the back pocket to see that. But, tonight.
You could have, but.
Yeah, punt it away. Play it safe, get it out of there.
Punt the ball. You ain't trying to have the coach yell at you in the fourth quarter. Punt the ball.
Also, the Crusaders, with 10:39 to go in the ball game, going to have the ball back on their own 27-yard line. Injury on the field down near midfield. And one of Canton Central Catholic's players down. We'll get you guys updated on that situation here in a moment. But, again, keeping an eye. That Chardon-Geneva game could be huge. Talk about the CVC. It's very likely we're going to see two teams in the CVC playing each other next week, which is always good to see. But want to see Geneva around as well, but Chardon making their case to move on in what is a very tough region.
Absolutely.
Oh,
we talked Division III Region 9.
Oh, my goodness.
And just loaded with several teams. And, again, they're all looking up at Ursuline out of Youngstown, but several teams who could, legitimately, whoever comes out of Region 9, they have a strong shot of winning it all in Division III.
Very much. You got the Kenstons in there, too. You mentioned, obviously, Youngstown, Ursuline, a team to be keeping an eye on. They're undefeated this season. Kenston's had a few losses, but people maybe sleeping on them a little bit. They've had a fantastic year nevertheless. Good to see the player for Canton Central Catholic, number 72, for the club there, Isaac Ray, junior lineman, able to get up and with a little bit of help, able to get off to the sideline. Hope he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's been one of their key guys all year long. And hopefully he'll be okay. It's the training staffs, and we mention all the time the training staffs, like they, part of these football teams, and they worked hard on these players week in and week out. Busy on Friday, busy every day, but Friday nights, Saturday mornings, they're busy.
Well, still busy out there now. Still some football to play as Betts is in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking to throw over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's caught. Breaking through to the right side. Breaking through, I believe that is Boren. He gets through. Back still on his feet. Spins through and brought down at the 36-yard line. What a play right there from Boren.
Again, credit this team. They're hanging in there, and they want to finish the drive here.
They're trying to catch the chains up. Again, great job by Canton Central Catholic to get things going. Also a piece of equipment falling off for one of the defenders there.
I believe that was a mouthpiece that fell off.
There you go. A solid gain of 41 on that previous play. Pass to the outside. That one's going to go incomplete. Intended for number 85 there, James Kane.
Again, just that aerial attack. And, this is what they've been built on all year long, just being able to strike down the field, this Central Catholic team. But this is a good test for Kirtland. Defensively, this is a good test. As they advance further into the playoffs, should this all hold up, they're going to face teams like this where they're going to attack, from the jump. You got to learn how to defend it.
That's going to fake the pass and run it himself. He's got to hold up the middle, cuts through. Betts still on his feet, makes a man fall. Betts breaks to the outside and into the end zone. Touchdown. 36 yards. Brennan Betts not done yet.
We had a few ankle breakers in this game, and Betts, with that effort, going right up the field. Oh, good cuts. Again, it's just all hips right there, and his speed. And again, it's good to see the young man back on the field and get in the end zone for the touchdown.
41-13 the score now. Now, if my math is correct, that does get rid of the running clock, so we should be back to a normal clock here moving forward. And I want to say it looks like there's going to be a 2-point conversion attempt, AA.
See it right here. Let's see if they try to get somebody in the flat. Oh, good emotion.
That's going to hand it off and tripped up almost immediately. Solid tackle on the try. Okay, great play there by Sale, who came back into the game and made a good play on the defensive end. So the score going to remain right there at 41-13. Crusaders able to get a big touchdown off a 36-yard run by quarterback Brennan Betts, but still, Hornets going to get the ball back. 9 minutes to go in this game, up by multiple scores.
I'll say this. I'll say this to this point. Like, that was, again, getting those hints of good drives. You saw that there with Central Catholic, the senior quarterback, the senior leader, Betts, leading the guys down the field. It's just smart drives there and taking care of business.
How good has Bourne been tonight, too? 5 catches, 142 yards and a touchdown. He's been reliable. Throw in his direction. He's been able to make some big plays, and obviously one getting in the end zone, but extend drives, too, when they've needed it. Again, just haven't been able to put enough of those big plays together yet in this game, but still, 9 minutes to go. Running clock is done now. If the defense can step up and get a big stop, we're talking about, again, a possibility to try and keep creeping closer and closer in this ballgame.
And I'll also say, too, credit the fans coming from Canton.
Oh, they're not leaving.
Nobody has left.
No.
Nobody has left. I mean, you can disregard the scoreboard, just how these fans have reacted to, to their team.
Another onside kick. Remember, we saw one of these in the first half. Ball's got to get to 10 yards, and it did, and it died again at the 49.
Same spot.
Same exact spot. And again, there's going to be a flag that comes out. It's going to be Kirtland football, and it's, just got to get one more yard on that kick, and they've got a good onside kick. Honestly, because you get the entire team past the ball.
Oh, man.
Because it's rolling so slow.
Well, what they're doing, and you just need to go one more yard, they're doing a great job shielding the football.
It's almost like a box out.
Yeah, they're doing a great job shielding the football, but, it's just not. You just want to get that rolling, and it just didn't happen.
No, so Kirtland's going to get the ball again on the other side of the 50, just barely.
But bet you Kirtland this week in practice, they hold on to this game. They're going to work on – scout team's going to run that onside kick.
Let's see, a new quarterback in the game on number 21. That's going to be Max Paul. So it's going to be – he said offsides in the offense. That can't be right. It is going to be on the defense, I believe. Or they're calling a false start.
It should be a false start.
Okay, he motioned offsides, but it is a false start. So
it should be a false start.
5 yards back, and be Kirtland's first penalty of the second half on offense. And Max Paul, the junior, getting a few reps here in at quarterback, as that's going to be, I believe, a game for Jake Laverty, and what a game it was. 6 of 9, 104 yards and a touchdown. Also had 6 carries for 32 yards and 2 scores. So 3 total touchdowns for Laverty tonight. Handoff on the right side. Short gain. This is number 9 on the carry there, Nate Chucko, again a sophomore. So seeing some new faces for the Hornets out there.
And for viewers who are like, wait a minute, what happened to the ball? There's like two or three different piles.
It always happens when you're calling Kirtland football, folks. The different handoffs, different variations. We talked about kind of the offense that Kirtland likes to run with the wing T-esque kind of background with it. A lot of misdirection, a lot of players in movement as well. Going to be accentuated now with some newer players in there. Going to be kept. No, it's pitched to the outside. And it was taken away. It was taken away by Canton Central Catholic.
Are you kidding me?
The pitch was intercepted. And it's a touchdown. Luke Piper took the ball away on a pitch. I guess it's technically a fumble because it was a backwards pitch that was taken out of the air by Piper. Wow. Crazier things have happened in Northeast Ohio, folks.
Take
Watch
a look
this.
at how this happened, too. Just miscommunication.
Yep. Off the
And
face
Piper,
mask.
yeah, Piper went right down the field.
Wow.
And this is playoff football, like you said, Kyle. The game doesn't end until that clock is at triple zeros in the fourth quarter.
So we're going to line up for an extra point now to make it a 3-score game with 8:04 to go. Kick is up, and it is
Just got
good.
Yeah.
Just got it through. You're right, Double A. 41-20. The score. Not out of it yet. The defense makes a big play off the fumble, and you got to wonder if you're Coach Tiger Laverde out there, what do you do now?
Well, step one, you're probably putting all your starters back in. You probably have to.
Yeah, now it's only a 3-score game, and just like that, 2 touchdowns on the board for the Crusaders, 20 points on the board, the most we've seen since week 3 of the season for Kirtland.
Well, these drives are happening quick now. Remember the third quarter, Central Catholic had the 10-minute drive. It didn't lead to points, but their scoring drive, that one took, 2 minutes? And then now you have the quick turnover. So, 14 points very, very quickly here. And I'm sure, obviously, Central Catholic is going to try the onside kick again, which
they need a little more juice.
Yeah, both times it's gone, 9 yards? Right at the logo?
Ball right now is being placed down, and I thought they were going to keep it flat, but it's an interesting strategy, and now it looks like maybe they're front-loading that left side. Kirtland's still trying to get lined up.
Yeah, there's communication issues.
Wonder how they're going to do this one, and it's going to be a more generic onside kick. The ball going to get to the sideline, and it goes out of bounds. Almost saved, and it looks like maybe there was a whistle beforehand. I don't think they blew the whistle to actually start play, so maybe it's going to be a re-kick here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No penalty.
Well, I'll tell you what, who benefits the most from that is Canton Central Catholic. They get another chance to kick this one through.
I'll tell you what, if there's... And they're going to have to... Kirtland got to get their guys back on the field. Like right now. They got to get guys back on the field. And the officials, they're going to give the opportunity, of course. But... we're going to see.
Yeah, some confusion down there, but it looks like, again, Canton Central Catholic's going to get another chance to.
Well, they're going to line them up a little bit deeper.
Like just getting a free kick, maybe just 5 yards back further, whatever it was. But here we go.
I can believe it is a 5-yard penalty. Looks like if you go before the officials are ready.
And it's a regular kick. It's a low line drive runner. It's going to be taken by Kirtland, and a return on the way. Breaking left and brought down. Solid tackle. But again, some nervous times there as Kirtland was able to try and make a play and actually get the ball up near the 40.
Don't look now, but Piper, who had the touchdown a moment ago, made the open field tackle. He's starting to light things up right now. He is starting to light things up, and now you're at a point here, if you're Kirtland, let's see who comes back out of the field. See, Beers is out there.
And Laverde's charting bat out too, Double A.
Yep.
You're exactly right. No chances being taken.
Can't
now
take
momentum is switching around, and Kirtland wants to bring their first team offense back out. Again, a short carry by Alfieri on the play. And now the problem is Canton Central Catholic has some momentum on defense. Your first team offense has been sitting on the sideline for about a half a quarter or almost a quarter.
Well, defensively now, what were the things they couldn't do in the first half? They got to correct now. First half, the yards after contact. They got to limit those. You got to have multiple guys to the football. And then you need one of those guys, once you get to the football, you need one of those guys to strip the ball away. You need to somehow create a turnover, get the football back.
So Laverde's not done, back under center. Let's get Alfieri in the backfield. The pitch out, he's got room to run. Coming back inside, pushing back out, and getting a first down. That's actually Beers who got the carry on the outside.
Excellent speed by Beers, man. And that's just, he has the size and just the the explosiveness coming out of that backfield. The moment he has the football in his hands, he's going and gets the first down.
So again, that first team offense for Kirtland coming back out to try and hold possession here, get a few first downs, and be able to get away with a win and to move on to the next round of the playoffs. Canton Central Catholic making this game interesting. 1st and 10 for the Hornets on the other side of the 50. There's a handoff up the middle, and again, just churning the legs, pushing forward. Oh, some late contact coming down the backside, too, and there's the flag. That's going to be on Piper. He took a late swing and almost egging him on, some of the Kirtland Hornets, and that should be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. Add that to the end of the run.
And again, it's that mental game, those mental errors, the mistakes. And, the mind games we talked about in the first half. And Kirtland, again, just, they put the first string back in. And this is, look, if it was you can't even say, I was going to say, in most places, if you leave the second string in and then, in the regular season, it's one thing. But we know how valuable winning regular season games are here. So we can't even say that. But especially, obviously in the playoff run, you're not taking any chances.
No, really not, as that ball is going to get moved up all the way to the 22-yard line. So Kirtland, again, putting together another solid drive with this first-team offense. A penalty there on the back end. Again, usually don't catch the instigator. They catch the person who responds, and it looks like that's what happened with Piper.
It's those small things that's called in the month of November. That's emphasized in the month of November. It's always called, but especially November football, got to be on your P's and Q's the entire way.
A couple of Alfieri's and Laverty going to be in the offensive backfield here as we get a 1st and 10 again on the 22-yard line for the Hornets. It's going to be Rocco Alfieri with the carry up the middle. It's still on his feet, and some late pushing and blocking coming in. No flag called there. That's one thing to finish a play. It's another to take a swing at somebody. That's what brings the difference, too.
But again, also, you have the right to keep going. You're supposed to keep going until you hear the whistle, and you play through it. So you got a Kirtland team who emphasizes in playing through the whistle.
It looks like a timeout's going to be called here. And it's going to be taken by the Crusaders. It's going to be their first of this second half, because it's a chance to remind you folks about the presenting sponsor, of course, of CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. It's Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties, of course, including dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. Hey, for all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com. As always, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Well, breaking the action, chance for us to take a look at some scores throughout Northeast Ohio, get you up to date. Chardon on top of Geneva now 21-14. Both teams trading touchdowns in this fourth quarter as the clock continues to tick down. Perry well on their way to a big win over Sandy Valley. They're up 34-0, which has been a norm for the Pirates this season. Another dominant performance. And no update yet from the score. Still looking for more, 13-0. Last we checked over at Cuyahoga Heights, the Red Wolves still on top of the Golden Eagles as they move into further into the second half of play. Back in play here. Going to be a handoff up the middle, and should be close to a first down marker. Alfieri with another carry, his 17th of the evening. And that's going to be, I believe, enough for a first down, and it will be.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of an injury, but Monye was able to hop up and walk it off the field right now.
Yep, John Hofaker with the injury timeout getting pulled off. So now we go first in goal, I believe, from 10.
Happened that quickly.
Kirtland's offense just coming back on the field and dominating as the clock continues to run. They're running that play clock down to inside 10 seconds. Hand off inside. Getting some more blocking. Some extra activities.
The way people are blocking outside, they make you believe they have the football too. Like, they'll make you believe.
Really will as again, just maybe a yard or two on that carry.
7 yards.
Kirtland trying to put this game away, Double-A, and get another big win. Extend that win streak they've been on since that Week 3 loss to Perry. It's been a literal buzzsaw on the football field.
Yeah, and you know, they're used to double-digit win streaks, but
there's a power run on the inside, still churning the legs through.
yeah, they're trying to get those stops. Against the Kirtland team, their last state championship win, was in 2020. They're trying to get things. They've won 6 state titles. They've been back to the state final trying to.
Worked their way back into that final game and a win.
Yeah, finish the story. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, I could be wrong, but that was McGuire Boyd on the carry last time as well. So seeing the senior get some work.
How about that?
On the offensive end, too. Third down and short. Alfieri in motion and play call dead, and that's usually a false start or maybe just a timeout. We'll see what the call officially is.
Sides of the defense.
Going to call offsides.
Yeah, it's going to be third and really short.
Ball going to get moved half the distance, so from 3 yards to about 1.5. Still a big third down for this Crusader defense. If they want any hope of trying to remain in this ball game here, got to get a stop. If Kirtland was able to pound this one in, it's going to be almost time for curtains here. We'll see what happens as Laverty is under center. Quick handoff inside, putting his hands up, see what the official ruling is. And they're going to say got in. Danny Alfieri, gets in for the first time tonight, wearing number 4. And Danny Alfieri puts 6 more points on the board. Kirtland gets a big touchdown. They needed it on offense because all the momentum was on Canton Central Catholic side there for a moment. But Kirtland again back out there. So maybe a penalty, a late flag on Canton Central Catholic, which will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike there defensively. But, I'll just say this as they're forcing a ton of those at the moment here. And we'll talk after the extra point. Obviously Kirtland needed it, needed this, needed a little bit of adversity here in these playoffs.
A hold good, kick on the way. It's high, it's arcing, and it's also good. Barisic puts it through. So the score now 48-20. Kirtland on top of the Crusaders. Update now on the score from Cuyahoga Heights. The Red Wolves on top of United, the Golden Eagles, 26-7 in the fourth quarter. So it looks like it's going to be an all-CVC matchup next week between Kirtland and Cuyahoga Heights. Remember, Heights was the last team that beat Kirtland before Perry did on this field back in 2016. So they've got experience with the Hornets, and it's been some not-so-friendly experience for Kirtland here in recent times, but going to be a fun matchup next week.
And think of the coaches, too. We've talked, obviously, about Tiger Laverty here in Kirtland, but also over at Cuyahoga Heights, Coach Al Martin, and, the longtime head football coach, longtime girls basketball coach, Al Martin. That's going to be something. And, 2 programs who they live in their identities. Like, what you're going to expect, and they're going to run the football, Cuyahoga Heights. And, we had a chance to see them against Independence back in week 6. And, that's going to be one heck of a matchup
A little bit of
from
both.
today.
A little bit of both, kind of like what we see with Kirtland too. Now the offense getting expanded a little more. Jake Laverty getting more comfortable day by day, being able to throw the football a little more early and often. Again, he's 6 for 9 tonight for 104 yards and a touchdown. You know, when Kirtland we talk about passing, he never talk about usually 100-yard games for quarterbacks, but he's been able to piece some of those together, have some good statistical games this season, while also adding to the rushing attack too that we know that's already there. With Alfieri and Beers too, and Cuyahoga Heights just a fantastic game for them as they're looking to inch closer to another big win. Chardon has now gone up 28-14 in that game as that ball is going to get booted through the end zone and should be a touchback. The Hilltoppers in the fourth quarter up 2 scores now in Geneva. Looks like Chardon is able to hold on. It could be the end of Geneva's season out there at Spire Academy. Getting great year for the Eagles too. Just tough team in Chardon. They ran into them last year, as you mentioned, 2AA as well, and this time around pretty tough too. And Perry, of course, in the fourth quarter up 34-7 over Sandy Valley. They're well on their way to another win as well.
Just, man, you know, the playoffs, it could be a heartbreaker. It really can. You think at the end of all this, you think at the end of all this, only 7 teams is going to walk away with a state championship. You know, so that's going to be, you know, all the hard work you put in, and that's just the reality of these playoffs.
Yeah, Betts back in, shotgun, looking over the middle. He's got a receiver, and is caught, breaking through, big gain, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown, 80 yards. Touchdown pass to 21 there. Oh, my goodness. It's been an up-and-down day for number 21, Andrew Neal, but wow.
Again, just beating the coverage there over the top and getting in the end zone, and these kids are not going away.
258 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns for Betts today, throwing the football. Able to really attack this Kirtland defense is, of course, the fans over on the Canton Central Catholic side. Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're passionate.
Yeah, they're bringing it.
Extra point on the way. It's going to be low, and that's going to be no good. So the score remains 48-26. Well, if anything else, too, at least Canton Central Catholic can say they put up 26 points against possibly a top 2 or 3 team in all of Northeast Ohio.
So we walked into this game saying since week 4, Kirtland defensively has given up 26 points this entire streak. 26 points. Here, in this game, Canton Central Catholic has 26. Now, 7 of those points have come from, they came from the turnover, defensive turnover.
The fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah, so, but even still, to put up 19 points, and here in this fourth quarter, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be a wake-up call for Kirtland. This is going to be a wake-up call because you thought in the first half, we're going to be able to, I'm not going to say necessarily sleepwalk, but, kind of go through here. But, these guys are not going away.
And 2:56 to go in the ball game now, 48-26. This was 41-7 at one point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So give, again, Canton Central Catholic a lot of credit. They fought till the end here. Onside kick on the left side. It's high. It's arcing. It's up for grabs. The ball's still out. And Kirtland, I believe, is going to come down with that ball.
Yeah, I think the official was right on it.
Great spot for the official to see what's going on, and the Hornets are going to recover. That was
Let's look at our replay. That was that high bounce. But
that's hit in the air, but yeah.
You look for those bounces to go your way. And I'm telling you what, though, again, they've had success with the onside kick up the field.
Just not getting it far enough.
Yeah. And it's tough to do. It's tough to do for a kicker to execute that. But, man, you imagine. You get that onside kick. I don't know. It was 255.
We're talking about a game that they've shown the ability to make big plays. We talk about multiple touchdowns of 70-plus yards tonight for the Crusaders. I mean, it was definitely a possibility, but now, again, the offense for Kirtland coming back on the field.
Yeah, and it's a race against the clock.
And Laverty back under center. Going to hand left side. Big carry there. Past midfield. McGuire Boyd getting some work in again the running back position.
Wow.
Couple sacks on defense. You know what? I'm going to start running the ball too, Coach. Don't worry about it. Give me the ball. I can handle it.
You're like, I want to carry the rock. I want to carry the rock. I want to get after it.
Well, it's because we know, obviously, after this week that we start to go into neutral sites for games too. This will be Kirtland's last game at home. And for those seniors, last time to play out here in front of the home fans.
And to do it here, again, we've been here twice at this brand new stadium. Just an amazing atmosphere here all around. There's people everywhere.
On both sides, too. Canton Central Catholic definitely traveling well. Is going to be Laverty, who keeps it. He breaks right and is going to try and stay in bounds, and he's going to get brought down at around the 40-yard line. A little nerve-wracking for Laverty out there, hoping you tell him to slide at that point, but the ball getting put down to the 41-yard line. It's going to be a first down.
Got an opportunity, to get things going. But again, if you've never been here to Kirtland, I encourage everybody to get an opportunity to watch a football game here. And again, you'll be amazed. Again, at the other end of the end zone, you got a small field. You got kids who have been on that field watching and playing football the entire 3 hours we've been here.
Well, Max Paul back in the game. As Laverty going to take a seat. Big hit on the inside. Again, for Canton Central Catholic, not fooled. Big number 55 there, John Fabick, the junior, able to make the tackle. So again, the reserve is back in the game now for Kirtland. Talking about only a minute 15 to go. You probably feel pretty comfortable now about the game being in hand as the clock continues to tick down. Just over a minute to go in the game. And Kirtland, hard-fought win. They had to put some pressure on the offense there in the second half. Started to see a bit of a comeback from the Crusaders. Hornets able to nip that in the bud with that touchdown from Alfieri late. And again, despite the Crusaders able to throw a lot of fireworks in the second half, just not enough.
Yeah, just not able to get a defensive stop.
Their handoff off the middle, and I believe, the Crusaders are going to call a timeout. I want to say they still have one more remaining as well.
Yes, they do.
So this is going to be a third down, and they could force a fourth down, call a timeout, and get that ball back. And Double A talk about it's different. Playoff atmosphere, of course. This is the last time the seniors for both sides, mainly obviously Canton Central Catholic, are going to be on the field ever. So to be able to try and get them a few more reps, you get it.
Absolutely. And you owe it to your seniors, right? To go all the way through. You absolutely owe it to do this and execute. You just wish, the way this game was played out, you're just like, how come this could happen in the first half?
Can we forget the first half and just take the second half numbers and use those? Because they've obviously outplayed Kirtland in the second half. They had more time of possession, too. Just that third quarter drive that took up almost the entire quarter, and they got no points out of it.
Yeah.
That was the one you kind of look back at and say, they could have got points off of that one, too. We're talking about maybe a two-score game.
And we talked about it, too. Like, if you would have got points before half and then got points in that third quarter drive.
Carry to the outside, and then Canton Central Catholic able to bring them, spin them down at about the...
And they'll probably use their last timeout right here.
Totally. Fourth down, and again with 31 seconds to go, gonna get a fourth down. So the ball's going to be down to the 35-yard line of the Crusaders. Going to be fourth down at about 4. So Kirtland has a couple options here. Now, we saw a few weeks ago a young man kick a 40-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Which was the longest by far that we've seen all season long here on CVC
Out of our
TV.
greatest selection of
all 2 of the kicks that went through this year that were good.
2 field goals.
Yeah. But it was phenomenal. It was high energy. It dinged off the crossbar, went through. We've seen Barisic put some good height and distance, and the way the wind's blowing, he may actually have the wind at his back here. He's a senior. Do you give him a shot for a 50-yarder?
Sure, why not? Why not? Go right on ahead.
They're probably just going to go for this, I imagine, and run the ball one more time. But wishful thinking, right?
I mean, forget about the 4-yard game. Kick Well, see how this will be pressured.
And got to be careful. Don't want to jump off sides. That's 5 yards and a first down. The game's over for the Crusaders. I want to try and keep the ball here as the clock continues to tick down.
And you can't see the play clock at the back of the end zones.
Both those widely displayed. It's going to be a pitch again to the outside, cutting back through. It's going to be close, and I think that's going to be right at the marker. And it's going to be a first down.
Man, that was a good cut. That was a good cut.
Great run by Carter Luzarg, and he's actually a freshman, 6 foot 165. Talk about these 6 foot running backs they've got now, Alfieri and Beers. He's the one that's in the pipeline too, and that's going to move the chains. Clock's going to continue to roll, and that, I believe, should be the end of the game. See, the players starting to realize it too, and we have it as well. The final score tonight, 48-26. Kirtland wins. They move on into the playoffs. What a big win for the Hornets. AA, final thoughts on the game tonight as Kirtland moves on and takes care of Canton Central Catholic.
For Kirtland, a phenomenal first half and a second half that Coach Laverty will not let his players forget. Just a couple of very, very critical defensive mistakes in a fourth quarter that became full of fireworks. And, sometimes you know where you are as far as the state of the program. We've seen playoff wins. We've seen teams kind of sprint off and we won the playoff game and such. For Kirtland, they're, obviously you're happy you won, but they understand they got some work to do going forward. But again, we've seen why Kirtland is a state championship contender. They can dictate pace. They run the football however you want to run the football. And, things got a little out of hand, but you take those lessons, they realize, hey, if they do go back to the state final, this is a 6-week learning process. This is a 6-week learning process, and then, you go from there. Central Catholic, they fought their behinds off. And we choked about it right before the end of the game. If they could erase the first half and start the game, right at that third quarter, maybe it's a different football game. But, these kids, they were excited to play, coming in. They got hit in the mouth. They could have laid down and called it quits, and that's it. But they didn't. Their fans didn't. And they all stuck around, and they have a program that, these kids down in Canton, they should be very, very proud of moving forward.
Okay, you can take your pick of who should be the CVC TV player of the game tonight. A bunch of different players on Kirtland's, again, sideline that's made big plays. But, and the quarterback, sophomore Jake Laverty, had a fantastic night. 6 of 9 for 104 yards and a touchdown. Normally don't talk about passing stats with the Hornets, but he had a great job there. Also ran the ball 7 times for 39 yards and 2 touchdowns, too. 3 total touchdowns makes Jake Laverty your player of the game tonight. And that is going to do it for us here at Wilson Stadium. The final again, 48-26. The Hornets move on. Looks like they're going to end up playing right now Cuyahoga Heights next week. Going to be an exciting matchup between the Red Wolves and the Hornets. Of course, also Perry. That score is now final, 34-7 win over Sandy Valley. Perry moving on. Their great season continues. And almost the final over in Geneva. The Eagles falling to Chardon 28-14. Chardon able to get the win and end Geneva's season. That being said, still a couple CVC teams left. We'll see what happens for next week. Keep you guys in the know if we're going to be back on your airways. If not, it's been great to call games for you folks. And hopefully we're calling 1 or 2 more. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The Spectrum, you don't need to pick up this game next week.
Yeah. Tell them how you really feel.
I'll tell them how I feel when I see that cable bill. Sorry.
For AA, Anthony Alford, myself, Kyle Cornell, thanks so much for watching, folks. Everyone, of course, the casting crew here making us sound, look good for you, too, on the air. Final score again from Kirtland, 48-26 to Hornets with the big win. They move on. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, and we'll see you later.